Okay, picture this, a totally normal, quiet suburban street. You know the kind, with perfect lawns, maybe some kids riding bikes. Now, imagine that same street completely locked down. And I don't mean by local cops, I mean the military. Today, we're unpacking a situation that sounds completely made up, like something from a wild movie. But according to every official report, every single bizarre detail is terrifyingly real.
Right out of the gate, the most shocking detail to emerge from this whole crisis is this. Martial law has been declared in an American suburb. I mean, that's a measure you only see in the most extreme circumstances. It's a total suspension of normal law, and it's all focused on one single family home.
So, the National Guard is on the scene, and they are not messing around. They've set up a full 1-mile quarantine zone. Nobody gets in and nobody gets out. The entire neighborhood is sealed off, a militarized bubble around just one house.
And that's really the question at the heart of all this, isn't it? How does a situation go from a quiet Tuesday afternoon to a full-blown military engagement? To even begin to understand this unbelievable outcome, we have to rewind all the way back to the very beginning, to a single, frantic phone call.
It all started with a 911 call from a resident named Gianni. He was reporting a home invasion. Now, that's serious, but it's not exactly unheard of. What was unheard of was his description of the attackers. It was, well, let's just say it was unusual. This one phrase, this is what kicked everything off. When Gianni told the 911 dispatcher he was being attacked by small men, almost like gnomes, the immediate thought was, okay, this is a mental health crisis, you know? First responders were actually sent out with specialists trained to handle hallucinations. But here's the thing. When law enforcement actually arrived on the scene, they confirmed the impossible. Gianni wasn't hallucinating, and that initial assumption of a mental breakdown, it very, very quickly turned into a violent and completely baffling fight.
The first encounter was just total chaos. Police reported something like 50 tiny men swarming the house, exactly like Gianni said. In that first attempt to go in, 2 officers were injured. So, the situation escalates, they call in the SWAT team, and 3 more of their highly trained operators were taken out of commission.
The speed at which everything just fell apart is staggering. Within 30 minutes of that first call, cops were down. Less than 2 hours later, the SWAT team, we're talking the best equipped force a city has, was forced to pull back. And only an hour after that, the governor had no choice but to call in the military.
And this is where the situation goes from just dangerous to completely impossible. Absolutely nothing worked. Standard police sidearms, useless against targets this small and fast. So, SWAT brings out the big guns, large caliber rifles, shotguns, still nothing. They try non-lethal stuff like gas and flash grenades, no effect. And maybe the most disturbing part, their advanced body armor offered zero protection. It was like they weren't even wearing it. So with the military holding this perimeter, this strange calm settles over the scene. The authorities, just completely lost, finally managed to establish some kind of communication. They just needed to know why. Why was this happening? And the answer they got back is maybe the most unbelievable part of this entire story.
I mean, just think about it for a second. What could possibly drive a small, seemingly invincible army to lay siege to a random suburban home? Is it a ransom? Is there some high-value target inside? The motive would have to be something pretty extraordinary to justify all this.
There it is. The official reason, straight from the attackers. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about politics. It was revenge. Revenge for a pickup basketball game, where apparently Gianni dunked on their boss so hard that he died right there on the court. It's an unconfirmed report, of course, but it is the only motive they've given.
So knowing the absolutely insane why hasn't made the situation any less dangerous. The standoff is very much ongoing. The motive might sound ridiculous, but the threat is extremely real. So, where does that leave everything right now? Okay, let's just put all the pieces together. We've got a hostile force of about 50 tiny individuals who are apparently immune to military-grade weapons. Their motivation is revenge for a basketball game. The guy they're after, Gianni, is trapped inside and nobody knows if he's okay. And the situation has escalated so far that, according to the official chatter, nuclear strikes are actually being considered.
And that's where we have to leave it, in the middle of a standoff that defies all logic. This isn't a normal hostage situation you can negotiate. These attackers aren't making demands. They're here for retribution. And that leaves the authorities, and all of us, with one final, pretty chilling question. When revenge is this absolute, how can de-escalation even begin?